All right, today we're going to dig into something that is absolutely fundamental. We're not just talking about a set of rules, but a complete blueprint for what a fair and modern justice system should look like. It's really a vision for how justice can and should work for every single one of us.
So let's kick things off with the big question, right? When we talk about justice, what are we really asking for? At the end of the day, it all comes down to trust. You want to trust that the system is fair, that it's impartial, and that it works for everyone, not just a select few. But how on earth do you actually build that trust from the ground up?
Well, the answer is you've got to have a plan, a really detailed framework that lays out every role, every responsibility, and every right. And this policy document we're looking at, that is the blueprint. It's designed specifically to construct a system that can earn public confidence. Okay, let's dive into it.
First up, let's pull back and look at the big picture. What are the foundational ideas holding this whole thing up? It really all boils down to two main pillars that have to work together in perfect balance.
And here they are. On one side, you've got judicial governance. That's all about making sure our courts are independent and fair. And on the other, you have law enforcement governance, which is about building a police force that's professional, principled, and, this is key, accountable to the public it serves. They're really two sides of the very same coin.
And here you can really see how all these pieces fit together to form one big mission. It's about protecting judges from political meddling, making sure police are incredibly well-trained, and building accountability into every single step. But look at the base of it all, upholding human rights and embracing technology. Each one of these is absolutely essential.
Okay, so let's zoom in on that first pillar and see exactly how this blueprint protects the courts. We're calling this section Guarding the Gavel, because, well, that's what it's all about, protecting the act of judgment itself from any outside influence.
So what does that actually mean, judicial independence? It's the idea that a judge's only guide should be the law and the facts of the case in front of them. That's it, not a phone call from a politician, not what's trending on social media, and certainly not the threat of having their budget slashed. Without this, there is no rule of law. The whole system crumbles.
So how does the blueprint make this a reality? Well, through some very concrete measures. Job security, for example, means a judge can't be fired for making an unpopular but legally correct decision. A ring-fenced budget, which basically means the money is protected and can't be used as a political weapon, is huge. And things like asset declarations, that's about making sure financial temptation is kept far, far away.
But here's the thing, independence isn't a free pass. It has to come with accountability. So a really crucial part of this blueprint is that it also creates powerful checks and balances. You've got an independent body to investigate misconduct, you've got protections for whistleblowers who speak up, and performance data is made public. This makes sure that justice is not only done, but is seen to be done, efficiently and fairly. And that is so, so important.
All right, let's pivot now to the other side of the system, the police. If the courts are the final arbiters of justice, then law enforcement officers are its frontline representatives out on the street. This section is all about making sure they operate with principle.
And this lays out the game plan perfectly. It starts right at day one, hiring people based on competence and integrity. Then it keeps going with constant training and crucial skills like de-escalation. And hey, just like with the judges, it protects police operations and leadership from political interference, so that investigations are following evidence, not somebody's agenda.
And again, here we see that same powerful commitment to accountability. An independent commission to handle public complaints. Body cameras to provide an objective record of what happened. And lifestyle audits, which is a smart way to check if an officer's spending matches their salary, that helps root out corruption. You see, these aren't just policies, they're essential tools for building trust. So, we have our two big pillars. But what connects them? What holds them together? This next part covers the strategies that kind of wire the entire system together, making sure it's ready for the challenges of our modern world.
Think about it. So much of our lives are digital now. And that's where something called the digital evidence chain becomes absolutely critical. It's like a digital fingerprint for every single piece of electronic evidence. It proves that a file hasn't been altered from the second it was collected by police to the moment it's shown in court. For anyone to trust a conviction in the digital age, this is vital.
And of course, the ultimate purpose of this whole system is to uphold justice, which means upholding human rights. This blueprint actually bakes rights protection right into the process. Things like CCTV in all interrogation rooms, guaranteed access to a lawyer, and an absolute zero-tolerance policy on any kind of abuse, these are non-negotiable safeguards.
A plan is only as good as its execution. So in this final section, let's look at how this blueprint actually moves off the page and into the real world. Who's on the hook for making all this happen?
And this table breaks it down beautifully. It's a shared mission. The judiciary and the police have to actually implement all these reforms. Meanwhile, the independent oversight bodies act as the watchdogs, and the government ministries provide the crucial funding and the tech backbone. See? Every single part has a critical role to play.
And this is so important. This is not a set-it-and-forget-it plan. This 5-year review cycle means the system is designed to learn, to adapt. It's a real commitment to constant improvement, which ensures this blueprint stays relevant as our society and our technology continue to change. So we end up right back where we started. We have the blueprint. It's a comprehensive, thoughtful plan for a justice system built on independence, professionalism, and accountability. But the final question for all of us is this. A policy is a plan on paper. What does it really take in terms of political will, resources, and public demand to actually build it brick by brick in reality?